The recording has started.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nexel Thursday special presentation. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bob Torsi with Nexel, and believe me, I'm happy to be with you on this call tonight. It's going to be another great one. In your invitations today, you recall that we mentioned that he is back. Well, indeed, he is. Once again, we will hear from Dr. Larry McCleary, who's already on the phone. And if you've been on these calls before, our format is simple. Janet Henshaw, who's a member of the executive team and our health and wellness advisor, will have a nice conversation with Dr. Larry by asking him some questions about our new products. Some of these questions, by the way, have come from the field, from both representatives and customers alike. So what do you say we get started? Janet, it's great to have you with us this evening. Let's welcome Larry McCleary and learn more about his wonderful discoveries. Janet?
Thank you so much, Bob. I'm so excited to be here tonight, and I thank each and every one of you for being on the call. You know, these calls are your personal time, and we understand that. So we want to give you some great information. But I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Larry McCleary. He's a board-certified neurosurgeon, which is a pretty big statement just in itself. But there are just a couple other things that I want you to know. He's a graduate in physics from Dartmouth. He graduated first in his class in the medical school. He's been a former head of neurosurgery at the Denver Children's Hospital. And this man is he just keeps going. You know, he's co-founder and president of Shining Stars Foundation and provides year-round programs for children with cancer. This man is a man who's got heart, who's got passion, and who really wants to give opportunity to anyone who doesn't feel quite right. And by that I mean maybe they've got a few little health challenges or big ones. And Dr. Larry is a man that wants to be there to support all of those different types of situations. And tonight we get to explain that. So Dr. Larry, are you out there?
I am here, Janet. Thank you for the kind explanation. We all go through stages of life. And for me, working with Nexel is kind of my next stage in life. And let me tell you why. Because my background is in medicine, and the company that I work with is really kind of a nutritional and health company. And Nexel is a company that has an interest in CBD and cannabinoids. Now, why in God's name would we work together? Well, let me just provide some perspective as we talk about all of the great products that everyone's going to want to hear about tonight. And I think this is important because it's kind of the umbrella that powers the machinery that we're all going to be depending on as the years go by. And let me just give you my perspective. So from our side of the table, we've developed nutritional products that really provide solutions to a number of common health problems. Your interest in cannabinoids couldn't come at a better time, in my opinion, because the products that we have are all universally made better and more powerful and more healthy by the addition of cannabinoids. And why is that important for our health and our well-being? It is because there's this system of cannabinoids in our body and cannabinoid receptors. And our body makes cannabinoids, and what function do they play? They play a vital function because our body's in a state of, I guess you could call it dynamic equilibrium. And we like to be in the sweet spot in that dynamic equilibrium. But every day, throughout the day, whether it's stress or getting ill or getting dehydrated or a heavy workout or whatever, we get stressed. And our body has to deal with those stresses to keep us in the sweet spot where we function best, where we're happiest, where we feel most comfortable. And that process is called homeostasis, meaning maintaining our internal equilibrium. And the cannabinoid system is paramount in the appropriate function of that aspect of our well-being. And what's amazing is that over time or under certain conditions, the endocannabinoid system can fail or not come to our rescue, okay? And what does that mean? I mean, how would we know when that happens? Well, it can make us more sensitive to stress. It can make us more sensitive to pain. In other words, the same amount of pain can cause more of a reaction if our endocannabinoid system is not working right. And what are some disorders that can be associated with this? Fibromyalgia or irritable bowel syndrome or migraines even, or atypical migraines. So there are a lot of real words that can occur when the endocannabinoid system is not working. And so providing these cannabinoid nutrients in a balanced fashion keeps that system working, that keeps our bodies happy and functional. And that's why I'm so excited about these products, because it's an intersection or a marriage of effective products that are turbocharged by cannabinoids. And that really is what we're going to be talking about tonight, a number of products that meet that description. So that really is what turbocharges me for this next stage in my life. And I really want to thank you all for allowing me to participate.
Oh, you are just the most incredible man in the world, allowing you to participate. You're the leader and you're our champion, because you realize that the body needs some support from the inside out. And you have been able to create an opportunity for us to acquire that homeostasis through what we know has been years and a lot of practice and trials and errors to come up with these amazing products. So tonight, the first product I'd love for you to share about is our sleep product. And what I mean by that is, I'm one of those, Dr. Larry, who only used to sleep 2 hours a night. My brain goes absolutely crazy. I close my eyes and I think about 10 things I didn't do. And the thing that I know about this sleep product is all of that will change without causing me to wake up groggy. Am I correct in that?
Well, that really is the hope and the thinking behind this. I mean, I think if you think about insomnia, for example, most approaches in the past have been, well, we're going to use a sledgehammer to get you to sleep, and that means give you a sedative. But I think what's wonderful about this product and the approach, which is an innovative approach, we think about insomnia as kind of like a brain disorder in a sense. The brain is out of kilter. So if you're old enough to remember what it's like to drive a car that has a stick shift, you can get the shift in neutral, but you can't get it into gear if the RPMs are too high. In other words, if your engine's turning over or working too hard, you can't get it into gear. And that's kind of the way I think about all these sleep disorders that everyone has. Our brain is running at too high an RPM, and it can't get into gear naturally. So the approach that we took for the REM sleep product is, let's just try to slow the RPMs of our brain down without sedating it so that it can drop into gear, that gear being natural sleep cycles, so it can sleep restfully. And really, brain health and sleep are flip sides of the same coin. The brain was wired to sleep. We just have to naturally get it there, and that's what this sleep product, REM, does. And that is a totally new approach to sleep. It slows down the RPM so that we deal with stress better we deal with anxiety better, we can get into natural sleep cycles, and we can wake up refreshed in the morning and do so without feeling groggy and without having a product that's potentially habit forming. So that really is why I'm enthused about REM. It really is the new frontier of approaches to sleep. And it contains cannabicol, which includes a full profile plant cannabinoid mixture containing CBD, cannabidiol, and also beta-caryophyllene, which acts at cannabinoid type 2 receptors for a balanced cannabinoid approach. And those are like the icing on the cake because we have theanine, magnesium, and melatonin, which all enhance the body's ability to get into these natural sleep cycles physiologically and naturally. So we, on our side of the table, are thrilled about this product, and we gave it to a number of subjects who've been using it for a few months, and they're thrilled. And these are people who had severe sleep problems, for years, decades, people who got stressed out because it came to that part of the night where they had to go to sleep and they knew it wasn't going to happen, and that made it a lot worse. And the responses that we had in 99% of the people were off the charts. People slept well, they were refreshed the next morning, they tended not to wake up, and if they did, they were able to get to sleep at night. And they not only noticed the difference, their coworkers and spouses noticed the difference. So this is a product with theory, science, and tested functionality. We know it works, and it's a totally different approach to sleep.
Well, and that, I think, is one of the most important aspects. And one of the things that we know is a lot of the sleep medications that people take actually cause a lot of problems with memory down the road and can cause the dementia and short-term memory loss, Alzheimer's, and more. Am I correct?
There have been a lot of papers in the lay press saying just that thing. And it's not just sleeping medicines, it's a number of over-the-counter medicines. But what all of them have in common is they lower the level of acetylcholine, which is the memory neurotransmitter in the brain. And if that's lowered, the brain can't function because it depends upon that for us to have short-term memory, working memory, focus, concentration, and the ability to solve complex problems. Because we have to remember things, because it's like putting building blocks together or solving a puzzle. We have to remember where the pieces go or we can't get to the finish line. So, all of these, or many of the sleep products, have just what Janet was saying, an adverse impact on brain function, both acutely and over time. Some of the studies have shown an association with the development of Alzheimer's disease. Now, we're not claiming that we're treating Alzheimer's disease, but these studies that look at these medications that lower memory neurotransmitters are associated with an increased likelihood as you age of developing that type of memory disorder, and no one wants to go there. So
absolutely not.
So to have a sleep product that doesn't impact the memory neurotransmitter is huge. That's another positive bullet point that people should take home.
Absolutely. Well, and that is one of the most important aspects of what this product is. It's 100% natural, and it's not going to cause any other problems. But, you've got another product that you've come up with that I love. Now, this product for me, the problem with this product for me is that it keeps me going for hours. And, sometimes I do need to slow down, but I don't want to when I take the elixir.
Well, Janet, you're a high energy person. You in one day you accomplish 2 days worth of work. But, for the brain and the body to work well, a product like Elixir really is just what the doctor ordered because, I mean, you're under stress all the time. Your phone's ringing, you have to answer emails, you've got to come up with programs, you do training sessions, you need to know the products, and you need to know the business. So you're really a person who is typical of the adult American for whom life comes at you rapidly. And if you're anxious and stressed out, your brain can't work well. And the Elixir product is great because it is designed to decrease the body's response to stress, both mental stress and physiologic stress from things like dietary stresses. And it is, to a degree, based upon our sleep product, REM, because it contains some of the ingredients that slow down the RPMs of the brain so that it can focus and function. And the people who have used these products swear by them. They feel more productive during the day, and they just feel more comfortable in their own skin, so they can get more done in less time and feel better about it. So Elixir is a great product. And it, just as an aside, we eat an acid-generating diet, and Elixir is alkaline and it's pH buffered. So it's a two-pronged attack against the acid that we generate in our bodies every day. So Elixir is an amazing product, and as far as I know, there's nothing really on the market quite like it. And it also contains some CBD and beta-caryophyllene for a balanced cannabinoid approach. Again, we're talking about homeostasis and the provision of, these moderate amounts of cannabinoids every day to turbocharge the endocannabinoid system so we feel good and function optimally. So that's another product that we're thrilled about.
Well, and because I was fortunate enough to sample it, I love that product, and that is one that I will be using. The other product that I've also had the opportunity to sample, now I know the people on this call have not yet, is Vibrant. And the thing that I've noticed about Vibrant is I've moved, to Texas, and I'm living here now after 4 years. I've always had a problem with moisture with my skin, either too much, too little. But now I'm living in a very dry climate here in San Angelo, and I'm noticing that this is keeping my skin very balanced, that wonderful balance of homeostasis in my skin. Can you explain that to us a little bit?
Well, let me just say this about Vibrant. Vibrant, I think, is a perfect name for this product that you rub on your skin. And because you rub it on your skin, everybody thinks, oh, it's just another skincare product. Well, that could not be further from the truth. I mean, we all live active lifestyles. We're out in the sun, we're exercising, we're walking, we're bike riding, we're lifting weights, hiking, we're doing things with our families, but we're also out in the sun. I mean, you live further south than I do, so the sun's rays are pretty powerful, and that accumulation of solar damage over years can damage the skin and make it sag and wrinkle. So this Vibrant product addresses dryness, a dry climate, sun exposure, because it has natural broad spectrum UVA and UVB protection, and it is based on 14 or 15 plant sources. And plants are nutritional powerhouses. And the reason we were drawn to this combination is because plants contain a number of nutrients to protect themselves from their environment, whether it's sun exposure, a desiccating environment where the humidity is low, or an array of other insults. And we have harvested those plant nutrients for our bodies to use. And it's not just the skin. I mean, I've talked about a few of the benefits. You've talked about how you feel, but it moisturizes, it has anti-inflammatories, and it holds onto water by making the skin barrier work better, and that gets rid of fine wrinkles. But it does so many more things. If you're out and you pull a muscle, or if you get kicked in the leg, or if you fall off your bike and you have a little bit of road rash, the nutrients in these plants soothe the skin, cool the skin, increase blood flow to the skin so it heals faster. It has antimicrobial properties, so if any bacteria get in there from road rash or an insect bite, it really helps those heal faster. And it's also great for stretch marks and scars as well. And if you tweak a knee or a hip or your back and you rub this product Vibrant on, it has anti-inflammatory and pain-killing properties. So it really is a tool for an active lifestyle that goes far beyond just skincare, but it's amazing at that as well. So this is a product that I think people, it's going to be a sleeper. They're going to think it's a skin product, but it's so much more, and we're thrilled to offer this.
Absolutely, and those are a few of the things that I actually have noticed. And just using the products only about maybe 2 weeks now, I love the changes in not only my skin, but just how my face feels. You know, I used on my face and my neck, and I just love the difference. So I'm very excited.
A lot of moisturizers are, fatty compounds, and you have to be careful because a lot of people are easily predisposed to acne. And this contains very light, rapidly absorbed moisturizers so they don't block pores. And that's what being non-comedogenic means. It doesn't predispose you to acne. So that's something, because a lot of people with acne would shy away from a good moisturizing product. And in Vibrant, that's not going to be an issue.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's why my skin feels so clean then, because it doesn't feel like there's anything heavy. It feels very light. And I just love the fact that I can just say my skin feels like it's got oxygen and it's clean.
I love that. That's great.
So I'm really excited about that one. Now, the next one, this one I think is so amazing. You know, I have a 14-year-old dog, and she's very much part of my family, and she does have dog breath. Her fur is gorgeous because she's been taking CBD for a long time, but her breath is not great. And so Wag, I think, is going to make her tail wag even more.
Well, I had 2 Goldens, and so I'm kind of a dog guy. And when I was younger, I had a cat. And I think your 2 pet products, Wag and At Ease, they just typify the intersection of the benefits of our 2 companies and how they are going to change lives. Because the pet product, Wag, really is good for body homeostasis, and the pet product, At Ease, is good for brain homeostasis. And let me just say a few words about those. If you look at an animal who has dull coat and is scratching all the time, that's probably the sign of a fatty acid deficiency. Okay, dried out skin, because the coat is growing out of the skin, and if you can nourish the skin, that is going to make the coat of that animal look shinier, and it's going to make the skin feel more comfortable. The dog's not going to be scratching all the time. And the other component of this product is for breath. And it's not normal for a dog to have bad breath, or a cat. But when things happen, if the dog gets older, if certain types of pathogenic bacteria build up in the mouth, if the pH isn't right, if the dog's eating poor foods or it doesn't have a chew toy or a bone, these bacteria, if they're on the back of the mouth, the tongue, and the throat, the bacteria that grow back there secrete hydrogen sulfide gas, and that really makes dogs have bad breath. But what else can happen is the teeth can develop plaque, and that's basically another form of bacteria that can produce odor. And also the gums, the gingiva, can get inflamed and infected. And the pet product WAG has chlorophyll and chlorophyllin in it, which are like deodorants. They're almost like breath mints for the mouth. But that product also includes a nutrient that is in a number of human oral care formulations and breath formulations, which has antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory properties. So what with dealing with the problem of bacterial overgrowth, as well as getting rid of some of the odors that are generated, that is really how we get at the doggy breath and kitty breath aspects of this product. And it's kind of like, you think about breath and coat. Breath and coat, they're not going to kill the dog, but they're two of the most common problems. It's kind of like wearing shoes that don't fit. They're not going to kill you, but they make each step miserable. And so this is a way of feeling good that you're doing something wonderful for your pet and making him more comfortable, both from a coat and skin health perspective and from a dental, gum, and oral hygiene perspective. But it's even more than that. Again, this product will have some of our cannabichor in it, which contains full spectrum CBD, beta-caryophyllene, and it also has spirulina, which is kind of like, if you had to pick one nutrient or one food source, this probably is complete as it gets, because it contains the delicate omega-3 fats that our body depends on. It contains GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, which is an anti-inflammatory omega-6. It contains 20 amino acids, so they are used for synthesis of the hair in your coat and many other reasons in the body. It also contains an array of micronutrients, which very few products have, vitamins, minerals, and even macronutrients like magnesium, calcium, and zinc. And the way this is used, you put it in the water so the pet is exposed to it continuously throughout the day. So it's not like using mouthwash in the morning. It's something, pets drink water continuously, so you're always providing all of these nutrients and breath and coat nutrients 24 hours a day, essentially, as long as the animal's awake. So, I think that's a great product. And the cat formulation is interesting because we've included the amino acid lysine. Now, why did we do that? Well, about 90% of felines have been exposed to the equivalent of the herpes virus. It's called feline herpes virus. And that can make cats sick. It can cause them to sneeze, have a runny nose, get oral ulcers, have conjunctivitis or inflammation, redness, and discharge from the eyes, can cause them to feel sick, eat poorly, have no energy. And once you're exposed to it, it lives within nerve cells, so you can never cure it, even with an antiviral. So the lysine prevents these recurrences of the feline herpes virus. So it has multiple uses, and not many cat products have that. So this is really, again, a product that addresses a number of common but significant health issues for just about every cat and dog. So, we can't wait to get this out there. And as I said, it also contains cannabinoids for that homeostatic support.
That is absolutely fabulous. And, the last product that I want you to talk about, I believe, is probably one of the most important products, because our pets get stressed just as we do. They have anxiety, and one of the biggest things that we don't understand is because they can't communicate with us. We watch them hide in a corner. We watch them shiver. But I believe at ease will give them the ease to not have to do that.
Well, and again, this is kind of the flip side of WAG, because WAG was for the body, and at ease is everything for the brain and brain function that WAG is for the body. So at ease really kind of describes what this product does. And so, again, it has a higher amount of cannabinoid support and a number of nutrients that decrease the pet's response to stress and anxiety. And as you said, you can't talk to your pet. So if they're freaked out or upset, it's because of an odor they smelled, or a sense, body language, or going to the vet, traveling, going on a plane, going in a car, being dropped off at a friend's house to dog sit, where they're uncomfortable, unfamiliar, and that just makes the animal agitated and actually, puts them at risk of nipping someone, which you would never want to happen. And a lot of pet products that address these things are knockout drops. And the problem with that is, if you knock a pet out, they can become incontinent. They can have a paradoxical response and hallucinate or get agitated the way some humans do to tranquilizers. So that's not the solution. The solution is to, if the pet's exposed to a stressful scenario, you want to decrease the brain's response to the stress. And that's what cannabinoids do. That's what the nutrients in at ease do without knocking the animal out. And why is that a critical factor? It's really important because the pet is awake, but the pet realizes after being exposed to these circumstances a few times, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought. I can deal with this. And so after using this product a number of times, the animal may actually be able to deal with a number of these circumstances on his own or her own because they've learned that they can de-stress. And maybe after using this product, they might not need as much of it, or they might not need it at all. So it really facilitates the brain adapting to stress in a beneficial way, which I feel is very unique in this type of product.
Well, I think it's absolutely unique. And the love and compassion that you have, not only for human beings, but for animals, really is going to set Nexcel apart from all of the other products out there in the market, because these products truly are for benefit of us as human beings and our animals as well. And I am just so elated by the opportunity to partner with you, Dr. Larry, with your knowledge, with your skills and your talent, with understanding how the brains and the guts and everything works. I think this is going to be just a match made in heaven.
Well, I agree. And I think, if you can do something for your pet, they'll love you anyway. But if you do something to make their life better, they will never forget that.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for sharing about these 5 products. You have such a way of explaining that we all feel confident and comfortable and really gain knowledge. So I appreciate you, and I really appreciate the fact that you've been on the call with us tonight. And with that, what I would like to do is turn this call back over to Mr. Bob Torsey.
Well, thank you, Janet. Thank you for managing that wonderful conversation with the doctor. And thank you, Dr. Larry, once again, just an absolutely fabulous presentation on those products. I'm fired up, and although my dog looks like he's almost unconscious right now, he's going to thank you as well. He's just sitting here looking at me, wondering who I'm speaking to. But anyway, that's it. Thank you both. I'm going to close this evening by inviting you to our Saturday coffee hour. You know that's at 10 Central. And stay in touch with us so you can track our latest accomplishments and our plans. So we usually share that with you on Saturday. And also, we remind everyone to get your pre-orders in tonight. You got to start to begin to enjoy the therapeutic benefits of our new products. That's the first thing. I always talk about being a product of the product. We cannot
When will
be
these products be available?
They are going to be available, Janet, the 11th and when?
Yes, we're going to be shipping the products. You're going to be getting them within 2 weeks. So go ahead and get your orders placed, and you will be receiving those. We've got a lot of orders. We're getting them all lined up and getting ready to get product out as quickly as possible.
In addition to getting the products out, because everybody wants to try them, remember that our pre-order promotion saves you 40% on any quantity of any product until midnight tonight, which is one heck of a deal. So once we hang up, I'm going to encourage everybody to go to your website and go shop. Try as many of these things that you can afford to buy. I'm sure you're going to be pretty happy you did. I put my order in, and I'm excited, waiting for them to get to come. And I'm going to have a happier dog and a happier me. So that's going to be great. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. Once again, thank you, Janet and Dr. Larry. I appreciate both of your enthusiasm and inspiration. It's great. So we're going to wish you that we all be blessed. Order your products. Come to the call on Saturday. That's it for Thursday. Good night, everybody.